You're listening to iCannabisRadio.com.
Welcome to Overgrow the Radio. It must be Thursday night, and we must be in Denver. And, oh my God, that music's still going. Come on, Sam, kill it. Kill the music. Welcome. I'm actually joined tonight. We've got our first guest in studio already, but I've got another guest co-host in. We'll just call her Miss Elizabeth Darling. That's
Hello.
Her alias. How are you, ma'am?
Good.
It's nice to have you in. I hope you'll enjoy your
thank
first
you.
radio adventure, if you will.
Indeed.
As our guest rolls his eyes and says, "Oh my God, you're going to survive Stickman for 2 hours."
At least it's only 2 hours.
Yeah, that was good. She might fit in here. Yeah. Yeah. So our first story is kind of fun tonight. I was telling our guest before we came on the air, for the last, over a month, I've been in meetings like 5 days a week. And today, I woke up and I decided I didn't want to put on a tie and didn't want to sit in meetings today. So I relaxed and, so what we're going to do is push that back a little bit and not talk about that for a little bit in the news and start in with something a little more fun. Oh, we've got callers. Caller, can you do me a favor and call back in a little bit? Thank you, Sam. Sorry we killed you. We still love you. Just call us back in a few. The first story's fun. I've been at the Capitol a lot. We've got a DUID legislation bill coming up that I'm dealing with, if you will. Apparently on Friday, John Morse, who's the proper term, the head of the Senate, drawing a blank. Anyway, John Morse declared that he must have smelled cannabis. He asked the sergeants if they could please douse all the doobies in the area. I got to say kudos, because as much time as I spent at the Capitol, one of the things I've seen is a hell of a lot of cameras in that place. They have cameras in the elevator. There goes any romantic encounters in the elevators at the Capitol building, if anyone had those thoughts. I'm going to jump way across the country really quick. North Carolina. We're going to talk to my board member later. She stood up yesterday and raised a little hell after they shot down their bill out there. And, I want to address this really quickly before we even talk to her, because I kind of have a message for the legislators out there. One of the guys, and we'll get into names and specifics later, basically said that they were being bothered by these people emailing and calling in support of this medical cannabis bill. I take issue with that. There's a reason you're being bothered, sir. It's because the voters who elected you into your office are pissed. They want common sense in their law. They don't want people going to jail, and they especially don't want patients going to jail. I know Rebecca very well. I love her to death like a sister. And I understand her frustration. Rebecca cured a sort of a form of cancer, if you will, with oil. And without that oil, she wouldn't be alive. She risks going to jail every day. She risks not seeing her child because of that. So, it's just sad anytime I hear a bill's gotten killed. I know last week we talked about, I think, 2 or 3 that died. So we'll get there. Everyone will get there. You like how I just kind of... I don't know where I pulled that from. I'm trying
David
to be
Letterman.
Cool. That's, yeah, subconsciously.
Sammy needs the sound effects.
I channeled my inner Letterman, if you will. So we'll come back to Colorado. I'll tell a quick story about a victory that I think I won, because I felt like I went to battle almost alone on this one, if you will. Our first guest sent me a really nice email, and a lot of people from the industry did. So I knew I wasn't alone, and I knew I had the best interest of the industry at heart. What happened was, as I've briefly touched on a couple weeks ago in my work group, the Local Authority and Control, we brought up a proposal, not meaning to yet, we brought it up a little early, dealing with an extreme ban that happened here in Greenwood Village, that basically said, even though we passed 64 and it's your legal right to possess cannabis, that if you live in Greenwood Village, you don't get to. Basically, it says you couldn't have it anywhere on their sidewalks, roadways, easements, anything. They claimed ownership over everything. What they did in that is they took the language of 64 that was meant, to give rights to property owners or to cities to ban on real property. They twisted that horribly and came up with this ordinance. So what I did is, it was made very clear by the chairs of my group that this would never go through. that this was something that they would stand to the bitter end on, if you will, like some of the prohibitionists in the middle America. So, I took that away, and I took a lot of heed in that, and in doing so, in this coming out, I lost the support of a lot of the people I was working with within the work groups on this. We had quite the brain trust, if you will, and for sake of loving these guys and still working with them, no names are going to be involved. But, through the week, it went up and down and back and forth, and I took a lot of calls about how I was going to ruin the industry and ruin any chances down the road that we had at addressing this ban. And, if I addressed this ban, that, we were going to have to address the floors and ceilings set forth in 64 because we'd have to clarify those as well. Well, I didn't see that angle of it. So I reached out, but again, I took a lot of heed in that because these are people I respect. So I called people like our first guest, and I called 30 people, to be honest with you, over 30 people, and also about 10 attorneys that I work with. And it was pretty unanimous that I needed to move this forward. So what we did is we went in with a proposal last Friday that it was very drawn out when I went in with it, and now it's one sentence. But basically we were trying to just define regulation and ordinance and then address the property issue, the real property issue with cities. So in interest of keeping this fairly short and not boring everyone to death and the political sausage factory that it is, we basically piggybacked it on another proposal. I went in and unexpectedly had the support of the Gunnison County Attorney and Eagle County Attorney, and both amazing people. If I didn't give them props on the air, I would be failing them. They're great guys. My advocates, Wanda James, is an awesome lady. She was right beside me and high-fiving before we went in, pep-talking, Other than that, people were against it. Tom Downey from Denver said, I won't vote for this. Denver won't vote for this. Mashawn Cook from Boulder said the same thing. Boulder won't do this. So, I out of the gate, I wasn't real confident. And it went a good hour. We debated back and forth. And finally, David's like, well... And David actually wasn't on board for a minute, but he's like, well, if we were to change the wording just a little bit, we could do this. And now what we did is that the governor actually specifically asked our group to set forth what would be state control and what will be local control. And from the get-go, we as a group had decided to push a lot of the control to the localities. So at the state level, we had a short list. So we condensed this big, long 5-day in preparation proposal into this one little sentence that says state control is thoroughfares. That now falls under that state control. So basically, if a city is to set forth any more ordinances like the one in Greenwood, they have sort of a double whammy against them, if you will. They're defying the state, and also it'll be up for litigation in court on a personal level. So I considered that a huge victory for all of us. I just was lucky enough to be in the seat to be able to go to bat for us. So as I said, I skipped the meetings today, and we have some other short updates if we have time for them. But I won't bore you with that anymore.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to set your news aside because I keep getting confused with it. Nederland. You got to love Nederland. So I had to jump that story in there because I actually used Nederland in my argument. I had Greenwood Village, and I didn't have a compare and contrast. I didn't have the other end of the spectrum. Good old Nederland comes in, and I would live there because, I love, this is one of the things that scared me about this proposal is I didn't want to limit anyone. Hey, man, if you want to do it and your town's cool with it, go for it. So basically, long story short, they're doing an ordinance up there right now with some people that we know, people that I've been friends and butted heads with, all in the same sentence, if you will. And they're writing an ordinance that basically loosens everything. They're going to move ahead before the state because we're not fast enough for Nederland. So kudos. One of the big things I saw in there that I like is the tourism factor. They're really addressing that by allowing storefronts where people can be in the windows. You can walk by and you can see them, oh my God, smoking a joint. God forbid. Sam, if that rings again, let's take it. Why not? We'll be nice. Call back if you want to. Yeah, I know, I got 5 minutes. So here's my next headache. Should be your next headache too. Or any patient. Or anyone who wants to medicate and drive within the next day. Colorado, let me premise this by saying I don't endorse driving under the influence if you're impaired of anything. First and foremost, well, the DUID legislation up in Colorado right now is a 5 nanogram, which we've seen in Washington that was accompanied with their legislation. We will fight this. I will fight this personally, tooth and nail, anything per se, until we have science. The Colorado Springs Medical Cannabis Council does not give me a choice on this issue. We represent patients, and basically what this does in a broad statement is it's a rubber stamp for police to draw your blood and put you in a squad car and put you in a can. Yeah, go for it. Hello?
Yes, is this the call in for the radio show?
Sure. What's happening?
No, not much.
What can we do for you, buddy?
Oh, I was just calling in. Am I to listen to the show that's supposed to be on with, I think it's Mr. Gibber?
Yeah, they're going to be in the next segment. I don't know that we'll have time to take calls, but you're welcome
I
to...
thought it was a call in to listen to it. It's
No,
a
man.
live thing then, right?
Do me a favor and go ahead and jump on our chat. I'm going to jump back into news before our break here. But you're welcome to
sounds
ask
good.
us anything you want through the chat. Thanks for listening,
sounds
brother.
good.
All right. So back to DUID. The DUID starts Tuesday. I encourage everyone to be down there. I'm actually doing some off-the-grid persuading. I can't use the L word because I don't have a little blue name tag yet. So we'll just say that I'm down there talking to people at the Capitol already, fighting this. You know, again, I don't endorse anyone to getting high, if you will, and driving. The problem is I don't get high. I take this as a maintenance medication, and I probably run a baseline of about 15 nanograms in my blood at any given time. I'm going to guess that I wake up well over 5 nanograms. So basically, essentially, this legislation says that I can't drive my car. I don't think a lot of people I work with would be happy if I had to take a train because I would have to cut my schedule in about a third of what I do right now. You know, Chief John Jackson, we'll just call him out from Greenwood Village, made such a great statement about that. He said, well, driving's not a right, it's a privilege. Those people can take the bus. There's public transit. You know, I mean, come on. Let's be realistic. In today's world, to be able to get done what a lot of people need to get done, taking the train is just not doable at all. So we'll have more on this. I'm not going to spend much time because we're running out of time. Let's see. What do we have next? The marijuana giveaways. This is, I have to get to this one. I've been waiting for this one. I've been itching. So I went to Club 64 a few weeks ago. My buddy Rob Corey sent me a text and said if I didn't show up, he was going to beat me up. So I took me plus one. I took Chris Rosales because Sam wasn't 21, so Chris was my date. Plus, Chris has longer hair, too, you know. It was almost like I was with a girl. And we went, and a guy approached me and handed me a baggie of cannabis and said, here, it's legal under 64. And he said, come down to my pipe shop and buy a pipe. And I give away an eighth of cannabis with every purchase over $30. Now, you know, granted, that sounds a little shady, okay? Well, the Denver police chief and our buddy John Walsh have come out against it and said, you know, they can't really say what law it breaks. Wow, that's annoying, huh? Chief White basically said it's illegal. Yeah, you can kill Skype. You can kill it. But with that, you know, I would want to have a conversation with the chief and John Walsh because I've argued for private clubs, and essentially in the work groups anyway, I've won that argument in that everything that transpires there is completely legal now under 64 unless we make further regulations. Now, if you want to open a recreational public club, that's a completely different ball game, the whole 9 yards. With this, though, it's perfectly legal for me to hand you up to an ounce, for me to hand you up to an ounce. Not you, for me to hand you up to an ounce. Sam's only 20. Are you 20 yet?
Yeah, March.
Oh, Jesus, man. Poor kid. Anyway, back to this. So I talked to an attorney friend of mine about this after this happened, and his opinion was as long as this guy doesn't have more than an ounce at a time in his business, there's nothing they can do. He's got his limit on him. If he's handing out, dime bags with the purchase, that could be interesting. That'll go to court, and in my opinion, that can open a lot of doors. Come buy a smoothie, get a free quarter, So anyway, we ran out of time and got through like a third of our news. So we're going to take a commercial break and pay our lovely dear sponsors. And then we're going to come back with Mr. Trip Kieber and Miss Christy Lunsford. We'll be right back on Overgrow the Radio. Peace.
Interested in the amazing benefits of CBD? Check out Dixie X Hemp CBD Wellness Products at www.dixiex.com.
This is Jessica Asplund with the Crested Butte Wellness Center in the Craig Apothecary. I'd like to invite you into either of our locations to see the difference compassion makes. With everything from sublingual tablets, gluten-free products, and a growing variety of edibles, there is sure to be something right for everyone. We carry only top-shelf organically grown cannabis at affordable prices for everyone. Stop in and see us at our Crested Butte location at 329 Bellevue Avenue or at our Craig location at 611 Breeze Street.
Dixie Elixirs, the patient's choice for alternative medical marijuana treatment, brings you Dixie Botanicals all-natural topical therapy, including massage oil, pain relief salve, and our newest product, Dixie Botanicals Pain Relief Lotion. This all-natural lotion pairs beautifully with Dixie Botanicals bath salt for a deeply relaxing experience with no psychotropic effect. Like us on Facebook, Dixie Elixirs, or join us at www.dixieelixirs.com.
Are you looking for the most elite cannabis genetics the world has to offer? Check out Delta 9 Genetics. Our mission here at Delta 9 is to provide and preserve what we see as the highest quality in cannabis genetics that the world has to offer from what we consider to be the best breeders in the industry. We offer a variety of genetics as well as other services including extractions and edibles. Please let us know what we can do for you. Also, please come check us out April 20th and 21st at the High Times Cannabis Cup here in Denver, Colorado. www.delta9genetics.com.
Indispensary in Colorado Springs is proud to support Overgrow the Radio. With 2 locations in Colorado Springs, Indispensary invites you to discover what true selection and values feel like. Always featuring an incredible array of Stanley Brothers medicine as well as full line of edible and infused products. Indispensary is open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week, 364 days a year. You owe it to your health and well-being to discover Indispensary. Westside location at 3044 West Colorado and Eastside location at 3031 East Platte in Colorado Springs. Indispensary is your destination for indispensable quality medicine.
Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver area, please join us for runs or start a group in your area. Running not your thing? Any sport can do it. On grass. Runongrass.com.
Hello, everyone, and we are back on Overgrow the Radio.
We are? I guess I
We
should
are.
quit drinking coffee and smoking bowls and maybe
guess
do a
so.
little work.
Just for a second.
We don't do that here. We're a very professional show. We actually use vape pens during the show. It's much less smoky, and it's just better. Less
It's
bad
just
stuff.
quality.
Exactly. So we are joined again, as we're lucky enough to be monthly, by these guys. It amazes me because you guys always come in with something new every month. There's always something going on. Joining us tonight, I'm going to read the official. It's official. So, Trip Kieber, it's always a pleasure. You're the managing director of Dixie Elixirs and Edibles. How are you, sir?
Very well. Good to see you, Stickman. Sam?
You have a
Nice
ton
to
of
meet you.
like. I just read this like right before the show. I was out running. That's my fault. We'll blame it on me. But I just read this, and you actually have quite a few titles there. I thought I had some hats, man. We got a little. You and I are right there.
I wish some of them paid.
Yeah, I'm with you. Welcome, sir. And Christy Lunsford, who is your marketing director out at Dixie. How are you, ma'am?
Great, thank you.
I've known Miss Christy for a long time now, a couple of years.
Yes.
Yeah. I finally met your husband Saturday.
Yes, indeed. We were out on our quarterly date.
Quarterly?
Yeah, once every 3 months, and had the pleasure of running into both you and Elizabeth. It was really good to see you socially.
You did. We were doing an event for Cashy Hyde, the foundation, and needed some food. And our mutual buddy from LEAP texted me a few times, so I felt like I should probably pop over and hang out with you guys for a bit. I don't get out much. I'll be honest. I'm kind of a homebody, kind of lame, you know. So anyway, it's a busy night. We'll just get right into it. You guys know I'm kind of a political, not kind of in your face. Let's just say that, you know. So people have been in our face today. I guess like a week ago, the chat room and really email, phone calls in the last couple hours about, you know, questions about the stock and the article last week from Seeking Alpha. I want to ask you guys about that. You know, how do you feel about the article?
Well, it's been an interesting week, and I appreciate you bringing that up, Stickman. I, too, have received hundreds of calls, emails, and postings on my various social media platforms. And, you know, I have to be careful because, as you can imagine, what took place last week was very serious. And I can assure you, as a board member and a director of Medical Marijuana, Inc., we are working diligently with the appropriate organizations, authorities, and most importantly, our attorneys to provide a very structured response. That will be out in the not-too-distant future. I can tell you the allegations and false statements that have been made against former and current management of MJNA, Medical Marijuana Inc., is just categorically unacceptable. And I can promise you that we will chase these individuals down who clearly have perpetrated what I believe a financial crime, and we'll address it. At the end of the day, there's very little we can do as individuals, but somebody was clearly supporting the efforts, and then by his own or their own admission chose to short the stock, and it's been tough. We've lost in excess of $200+ million in our market cap, a company that I have worked tirelessly along with my team members to build over the course of almost a year. And so I can assure our loyal shareholders, and more importantly those individuals that are watching from the sidelines, that we will provide the appropriate response and then pursue to the greatest extent that we can legally.
Well, and I mean, fill me in a little bit more broad, if you will. We'll humor ourselves. We got a lot of time to kill. You know, as I said, I've been in the meeting, so I've missed this whole thing. Mm-hmm. You are educating me on this.
Sure.
Was there a history? Well, first off, who is Seeking Alpha?
To be honest with you, I just believe it's a blogger. I mean,
okay.
It's an investor relations group. We don't have any direct relationship. They certainly have been supportive of the company, pushing us up to an excess of 50 cents per share, and then clearly in a very short period of time through what, again, I would suggest were false statements and slanderous and libel comments to short that stock. And, like you, I don't involve myself in the day-to-day business of MJNA's stock price. I'm busy building a company that
Sure.
I believe is one of the most recognizable brands, certainly here in the United States. At one time, we certainly were the second largest market cap. But, that's not what drives us in and each and every day. But these are serious allegations that have taken place. We will address them with our legal teams, and we will pursue them to the fullest extent. So whether it's the company that you mentioned or some other person, tread carefully because we will pursue it to the greatest of our abilities. And we'll be making detailed comments in the not-too-distant future.
Well, dude, our chat is totally blowing up. You have a ton of support, and that's really was my next statement / question, if you will. I've known you for a while now. I really got to know you at the clinic last summer. We hung out at the golf tournament, which was great.
Sure.
Had a great time. You guys did a lot for the tournament itself. And, made the comment, someone asked in our chat room before the show started, has anyone tried any of their products and does anyone on the show like them? And I said wholeheartedly and honestly that if I didn't, you guys wouldn't be a sponsor. And that's the way that this show is. We screen the people we work with, and number one, it has to be a good fit. You guys are a step further because you do a segment. With that being said, I've watched what you guys do as a company and what you do personally, and I guess I want to get. How does this affect you? I mean, I've watched what you put into this company, and I know how it is. It's building anything is a lot of frickin' work. We'll just say that. I mean, it's got to just really hit personal.
It does, and I wear my heart on my sleeve, and probably more importantly on my face tonight. And although I don't medicate as a habit, certainly the last couple of days were intriguing and almost pushed me to the brink. But the answer is, it's incredibly disconcerting. Listen, the value of a stock or an issuance does not affect what we do each and every day. However, Red Dice Holdings, which is a portfolio company of Medical Marijuana Inc.'s, Dixie Elixir is the brand. We're a real company. I mean, we have real assets. We have real products, products that many of you who have listened, who are listening tonight, have tried personally. And so, whether it be a naysayer that is trying to make money, or an individual who just doesn't believe in marijuana. At the end of the day, we're a company that is predicated on leveraging the assets that we own. And so, as an individual, it's difficult because we've worked incredibly hard. So has Christy and the other, 40-plus individuals at Dixie alone. But we don't lose confidence. We don't lose faith in the process. As I said, we'll address this formally and legally in a very short period of time, and the truth will come out. What we do is we go to work tomorrow and we continue to build innovative products that we'll talk about tonight, products that are assisting people with wellness, not only in the state of Colorado, but also across the country in the form of our hemp wellness product line. And wait till you see what we have leading up to 420.
Well, I wanted to jump in there and say, if they're a prohibitionist and they hate cannabis, they should really try some hemp because it keeps you healthy.
That's right.
On a quick side note, Christian Thurstone, I'm sure you may have heard that name. He's been a tireless prohibitionist. He brings an army of people in every week to tell us how cannabis is going to kill our babies and the sky is going to fall if we move forward. So I brought light to the group last week, and I gave him this sticker that says, "Did you know you can overdose on water, but you can't on marijuana?" Started the meeting by saying, I hate the fact that I have to waste my time on all this prohibitionist stuff, but let's be light. I brought you a gift, so I gave him a sticker. So you got to have fun,
That's right.
You got to have fun with your haters, man.
Yep.
I think what we'll do real quick is take a break and come back, and then we're going to jump into we're going to have a moment of zen, if you will, and shed the hate, and then we'll get into the substance.
Where's that vape stick?
I got you, brother. Got you.
Just kidding, Mom.
We'll be right back on iCannabis Radio.
The law offices of Edson, Mayton, and Matz provide criminal defense, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running medical marijuana centers, optional premises cultivation operations, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout Colorado. With offices in Denver and Aspen, we can offer assistance throughout the entire state of Colorado. Give us a call at 303-831-8188. That's 303-831-8188. Or visit us online at warrenedson.com.
That Mad Hatter Smoke Shop has everything from space glass to butane and butane accessories, I tell you what. Located at 6091 West Colfax in Lakewood, and now at 2615 Walnut Street in Denver. Ah! God damn it, Reclaim, put your pants back on.
Hi, Josh Stanley here from National Geographic's American Weed. I'm here with my brothers, and we've just recently put together a foundation in Colorado to allow for cancer patients and other patients of debilitating conditions to be able to get a hold of cannabis-based oil that's just about free of charge. I've just about had it with seeing sick patients suffer needlessly just because they can't afford the proper medication. That's what the Realm of Caring is going to change. Visit therealmofcaring.com, the website will be complete and up on 4/20 of 2012. But until then, please contact any of us Stanley Brothers directly through email. You can get us at gratefuljosh@hotmail.com. Now come on, Colorado. We need to take care of each other. Join the realm. That's realmofcaring.com. Thank you so much.
Independent Records and Videos has been your locally owned and operated choice for music, movies, and lifestyle accessories since 1978. Independent Records and Videos has 7 locations from Denver to Colorado Springs to Pueblo to serve your entertainment needs. Whether it's vinyl, CDs, DVDs, books, smoking accessories, or hundreds of other fun and fanciful items, Independent is ready and waiting to make your dreams come true. We are always buying, selling, and trading vinyl, CDs, books, and DVDs, so sell yours and buy ours. Independent Records and Videos, your entertainment headquarters. Check us out at beindependent.com or on Facebook.
Green Monster Glass, a full selection of glass and glass accessories, as well as all of your smoking needs. Stock your dispensary or smoke shop with reasonably priced glass from Green Monster Glass. Green Monster Glass is locally owned and operated. Find us on Facebook or call Daryl at 719-217-5380. That's 719-217-5380.
Dixie Elixirs, the patient's choice for alternative medical marijuana treatment, brings you Dixie Botanicals all-natural topical therapy, including massage oil, pain relief salve, and our newest product, Dixie Botanicals Pain Relief Lotion. This all-natural lotion pairs beautifully with Dixie Botanicals bath salt for a deeply relaxing experience with no psychotropic effect. Like us on Facebook, Dixie Elixirs, or join us at www.dixieelixirs.com.
How apropos. So we took a break and made Trip take some hits from the bong. I'm totally kidding. That'll get out in a newswire tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yeah, somebody use it against us.
Yeah, that was totally a joke, for the record, officially. And let's jump right back in. As I said when we left, sorry, I got ahead of myself. We're joined by the lovely Elizabeth, who's been really quiet over there. It's been a busy show so far, though. The second half of the show, you're talking. We're going to make you talk.
Alrighty, I'm ready for it.
Good. Trip Keeber, you're always a pleasure to have in studio.
Thank you, Stickman.
Even more so, though, is the lady sitting next to you. Miss Christy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I love that little peace sign. Hippie. So let's be positive. Dixie's a great company. I love you guys. As I said earlier, I think I've tried most of your products. I think I'm shy a couple still. But everything I've tried has been great. You guys make a truffle that's super medicated that knocks me on my, and, the everything from your oil, which I maybe shouldn't, I may have sampled some somewhere off the record, somewhere way down the road. But yeah, everything I've tried has been great. So let's focus more on that side of it. You guys, you have lately received a ton of media attention. Obviously, some of it in the last week or so has been this you're dealing with. And, negative attention is still good attention, they say. So we'll see how that pans out. But let's be positive. What's going on with Dixie? Why are you guys getting so much love?
I think we're getting so much love because we are dedicated to our customers, our patients, and we make amazing products that really have integrity. We've seen press in the last 4 weeks from Germany, from France, from not Lithuania,
Great
Britain, and one of the smaller Lithuanian type states, and they come in and they're fascinated by what we do. Moreover, I think they're fascinated that we are such average Americans. We're passionate about the products, and when they come in, they're just so amazed at the level of integrity, both in the front office and when you go back to the kitchen facility, the production facility, the lab. Just that everyone loves what they do, and why shouldn't they? Dixie's a great company to be at.
It's funny, Stickman, I'm sorry for just adding something. I was talking to a BBC producer just a couple of weeks ago, and he said something that was incredibly resounding to me. It said, when America sneezes, Great Britain gets a cold. And obviously that's a metaphor. I mean, the eyes of the world are watching the United States, who's been such a significant player in the war on drugs. And so countries from all over the world are understanding the benefits from legalizing both medical cannabis and adult use. We're going to add hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, to our tax coffers. We'll add hundreds of thousands of jobs across the country. And media groups from around the world, and certainly the United States, are curious as to what that means. And fortunately, Dixie's brand and the reputation that we have, it attracts them to us. So we're really blessed for that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just to add, I think Colorado is so much a focal point right now. The media here is amazing. Yeah. I went, as I said, Club 64, walking in, got interviewed by a news crew from Norway. So, I mean, just random. We a lot of us work group members have been approached. I personally have shied away from most interviews. I did one with like Channel 5 just to bitch a little bit about our DUID endorsement. And then I decided to be political. So I think after all this process is done, we'll get to do more. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely the BBC's running around right now and talking to a lot of you guys. So good stuff.
Yeah, and that's important to note. I mean, Dixie is not the sole focus of media attention. There's so many incredible companies out there. Just this week on WCVB, the ABC affiliate in Boston, Massachusetts, it included Jake Salazar from MMJ America, Kayvon, and ENC, but Denver Relief had received an extraordinary amount of media attention. And so, listen, we're absolutely happy to share it, but it's incredibly important to make sure that the appropriate and proper messaging gets out, that this powerful plant not only has the ability to cure or promote wellness, but again, going back to the hundreds of millions of dollars that it's going to generate, and also the hundreds of thousands of jobs in the next 3 to 5 years, all the while potentially saving money in law enforcement and the penal system of incarcerating people for possession of small amounts of marijuana. And so we're proud to share that with our partners here in the state of Colorado and across the country and other states that offer some form of medical cannabis, which it's important to note, represents in excess of 30% of the U.S. these days. So not insignificant.
No, not at all. 19 states, the District of Columbia, and I didn't get to it in the news, but DC is actually getting ready to open their first dispensary in April, just in time for us to be there.
I was there as well just a couple of weeks ago. It is a beautiful facility, 2 blocks from my alma mater, Gonzaga College High School, and 4 blocks from the U.S. Capitol.
Well, Sweetie Dumpling wants you to be president of the United States. So
I did inhale in my youth.
Nice. Well, there you go. You've got all the qualifications then. It's all good. Just a quick plug. We'll be there on 420. We'll talk about that later, though. We're going to have Overgrow the whole second hour. So, I hope you guys get in the market there. That'd be great to see. It's there's so many nuances there because it's a federal territory. Yep. I'm waiting for someone to sue the federal government, and that'll be the end of prohibition. It's legal federally. I mean, it's legal in D.C. D.C. is a federal territory governed by Congress. Mm-hmm. Anything the city council does has to be signed off on by Congress.
Yep.
I don't know how they even justify that.
It was fascinating to tour multiple facilities when I was back east, just again a couple of weeks ago. I'll be back there in less than 2 weeks, continuing our discussions related to the expansion of the Dixie brand. Again, something I think will bring incredible positive developments through Red Dice up to Medical Marijuana Inc. But it's fascinating. Again, it's my old alma mater, and I can think of the amount of law enforcement that exists within a 5 square block radius or 5 square blocks, and it's not insignificant. And to have a medical marijuana center, literally just within a 9-iron, is going to be fascinating. I'm incredibly proud of our MMJ entrepreneurs in the District of Columbia, and we wish them great success. And I hope to have Dixie products on those shelves to serve patients.
Well, and I can do a spoiler alert here, and for the few people who are listening, they'll know. I'm actually an indirect advisor right now to Grover Norquist. So the feds are absolutely taking notice. When Norquist gets involved, shit gets done. So especially when it comes to tax reform and things of that nature, the first thing to them being open to this is figuring out how to make money. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure that's what this process is entailing right now. So that's exciting for me personally, but for us as an industry. I think it's going to take root there. They'll see that it's not some big evil thing, and life will be okay, and then maybe they'll fall a little quicker. We're going to have to take another break before you guys get out of here, but we've got a little time. What's going on? I mean, what's the big thing at Dixie now? What's hot? I like that word. What's hot, Christy?
We've got a bunch of very exciting things that are coming up. We have a couple new flavors of our Dixie Elixirs and Edibles THC-infused dewdrops. These are so amazingly popular. They're a very discreet and effective way to medicate on the go. Each 1 ounce has 100 milligrams of THC. And we're bringing out a ginger mango and a cinnamon flavor to mate with our other flavors that we have. We also are doing something exciting with the Dixie X brand. Since our Dixie Botanicals is now the hemp oil wellness supplement line, Dixie X is going to be a ratioed product of synergy between THC and CBD. It's well known that CBD is an amazing helper to THC, and the CBD will be currently derived from hemp, where the THC will be derived from medical cannabis or medical marijuana. Ideally, these products can be used on a daily basis to medicate with, but also CBD is a great assistance to people who use THC on a daily basis because, as you know, the more THC you use, the more your body can tolerate. CBD can help modulate that toleration so you can actually smoke less and still have the level of effect that you are wanting from the THC. So it's an amazing new line that we're bringing out. It'll be Dixie X, and it'll be launching mid-March.
And it's important only in medical marijuana states, so it cannot be distributed across state lines. We'll deploy it here initially in the state of Colorado and then to those other states in which we'll deploy facilities. But to Christy's point, it's incredibly exciting. I'm really pleased to bring that Dixie X brand back into the market, and I think so too will our patient base.
Absolutely. Real quick, I have to address the chat room. It's going nuts tonight. Duck, I promise you that after the show, I will make sure that Christy gets her little iPad thingy out and shows Tripp the history of the chat.
Oh.
Okay.
And in the second hour, we can try to field some calls. We do have 2 more guests. You know, I don't know what we'll be able to tell you about Dixie, and I apologize for being limited on time, guys. Maybe the next segment that they're in, we can get some calls in or email questions to me anytime at stickman200210 at gmail. And I know that's long, but that just tests your skill. If you can't figure out the email, then it's probably not a good email to send.
One of the things, Stickman, I mean, because we truly value the partnership, and more importantly, we appreciate the listeners that follow you, is that, you know, we're happy to field questions that you forward on to us, and we can take those on a weekly basis. As you can imagine, we're incredibly busy these days, but we want to be responsive. And the one thing we're never going to do is hide in the shadows. And again, that will be evident when we deliver our response. But don't ever hesitate to forward listeners' questions. Email is typically most efficient, and we'll get those back, and you can talk about them at your convenience and make sure those listeners get the answers that they need and candidly deserve.
Well, all the love's been for you, so I just got to thank Doc Steven for shooting me some love real quick there in the chat. So, Christy, someone asked a few minutes ago here, what are your guys' plans on taking the CBD line mainstream across the country?
Absolutely. So, Dixie Botanicals is our hemp oil wellness product line that is sold nationally all over the U.S. And essentially, we're looking for believers right now, people who are well-versed in the potential health benefits of high-concentration cannabinoid products. Certainly, the hemp oil represents 3 distinct delivery systems. So as far as what we're doing nationally is we're looking for believers. So if you understand cannabinoid products, there's no reason why you can't tell your mom, your uncle, your preschool teacher at home, and potentially even the person sitting next to you about cannabinoid.
Absolutely. You should be.
Yeah.
Let me just throw that in there. You should be.
It's a dietary supplement. It's almost like a vitamin that we've been without as not only a society here in the U.S., but nationwide as a global culture without the last 70 years. And I have been using the dewdrops every single day since September 5th, when we launched nationally, I've been using a half dropper full, and it's amazing the benefits I've seen personally and the effect not only on my physical well-being but on my general attitude as well. I mean, Tripp can attest to how many hours we are at Dixie and out in the community as well, and it's really helped me achieve not only mental focus but physical well-being.
Yeah, this product is it's fascinating. It's only 6.5 months old, and literally there are days that we sell more in a 24-hour period than we were selling in a month back in September. And so we're still in the early stages of this, what I describe as a revolutionary product that promotes wellness. We have to be careful not to make claims because we're not medical physicians, but the testimonials that we receive, the postings that we see in non-related sites to Dixie Botanicals is incredibly powerful and truly is what in part motivates us, inspires us to work those long hours. And I will acknowledge, and on occasion, they're stressful long hours. So my employees are likely embracing the Dixie Botanicals themselves.
As you guys know, I know a lot of folks who are using them, and I've heard nothing but good things. On a side note, Tamar, I actually got an email from her this evening I haven't had a chance to respond to. And hello if you're listening. She's great, and I always learned when they would come in for their segment. And for those who don't know, she's actually doing a segment now on In the Lab with Jennifer. Quick shameless plug.
Oh, very good.
Mondays at 3 p.m. I believe.
Sounds right.
Does that sound right, Sam? I'm only the manager here. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, she taught me not only can you take CBD products first and it triples the effect of your cannabis products, your THC products. One of the other cool things that she kind of drove home for me, and this was a conversation that I first bounced off Dr. Melamede, is that people that don't use hemp or that don't have hemp in their diet are deficient to some form, whether it be cannabis or just hemp or hemp products. I'm pretty lucky because I use a very concentrated dose, and I accredit that to me never getting sick, knock on wood. I don't get flus, I don't get colds, I don't get headaches. I don't get a lot of things that your average American gets. I can't tell you the last time that I had a cold that wasn't just allergies, you know. And I think, I know that that's because of the dose that I use. When your body does not have these, and I'm giving you guys a commercial here without you even knowing it. When your body does not have these, what happens is, you have cannabinoid receptors in every part of your body, from your eyeballs to your hair. I mean, they're everywhere. Maybe not your hair because that's dead, but Anyway, when your body's without hemp or cannabis, THC, CBD, CBNs, all the fun stuff, it overworks these receptors. They are looking for that cannabis, and it's not there. When your body gets a form of cannabis, whether it be medicated or just hemp, it feeds those receptors, and for lack of a better term, it brings an all-over calm to your whole body. So, I mean, it's absolutely a health benefit to, if nothing else, eat hemp seed, use the Dixie Botanical line.
We recently had a doctor call in from Texas, and I don't know if you're aware of this, Tripp, but he called the Dixie Dewdrops meditation in a bottle. Nice. And when he said that, it just gave me a little chill, but that chills the word. Like, it really is calming.
64, it's kind of the unknown stepbrother is, we're talking about the legalization of industrial hemp, here in the state of Colorado. The SPIN study put the hemp market at just in excess of $450 million last year. All of this is coming from outside the U.S. There's no reason that we should not be realizing the benefits, creating additional opportunities for U.S. farmers and cultivators. And I am truly confident that we'll see hemp fields in the state of Colorado this summer. That's incredibly compelling, and hopefully more and more people will be exposed to higher concentrations of hemp oil, whether it be in Dixie Botanicals or others. I mean, obviously, it's a global market. We're focusing currently in the U.S., but this is a massive opportunity for our state, and I think the beneficiary, at least today, will be the residents here initially in Colorado.
Absolutely. I would concur. We actually had Jason Love on last week to talk about his progress on hemp. We addressed issues or concerns, if you will, about cross-pollination.
Sure.
I think a big thing with that is, my God, we have a whole eastern part of the state we're not using. Let's use that. It's flat. It's got to be our best farmland in Colorado, so I'm pretty sure we're not going to be growing on the side of the Rockies, a few of the grows that I've been to for medicinal have been, tucked up in the hills and really, or in industrial areas. And I don't think those are areas that you're going to see much hemp farming. No. So no. I think we'll be okay. So, I mean, there's a ton. We could talk for hours every time you guys are here. I know I mentioned briefly, my organization's going to D.C. for 420. What are you guys up to on 420?
We're going to kill it.
I'm going to be in two places at once.
It's fascinating because as adult use starts to progress here in the state with the legalization of marijuana, cannabis, the access to entertainers and celebrities has been never-ending. We're still a pretty conservative company. I know that sounds ironic coming from the CEO of a medical marijuana company, but we've had some fascinating opportunities. We'll definitely be making some announcements, but the staff has been working tirelessly. We will be launching an incredibly exciting and innovative new product, which will be designed for both adult use and medical cannabis patients. We're going to be involved in the premiere of at least one film, which is highlighting cannabis. And, there's going to be a lot of excitement here in the state, and certainly that will be a very interesting and probably long day.
Yeah.
And just a word to the wise, I was talking with John at High Times, and they've already sold in excess of 4,000 tickets for the event here in Colorado. If you are going to go to 420 in Denver, Colorado, go on the website and get your tickets today.
Well, I'm going to steal 5 seconds of your time to say that iCannabis Radio will be broadcasting both days from the High Times Cup for the second year in a row.
Perfect.
I don't know yet if I'm going to D.C. If I do, I'll be flying back in, and just the same as last year. I flew in at 2 in the morning, was there at 9 a.m. doing dabs. Managed a 3-hour broadcast, so it worked out well.
Wow.
Great time. I will say it's the first ever official High Times Cup in the U.S., so I expect the turnout for this thing to be unreal.
Absolutely.
I know some folks in Amsterdam are a little bit pissed right now. Well, hey, all I can say to that is you should have legalized before us. So we're going to run out of time. We skipped all our commercials because we love you guys so much, and let's face it, you're getting some commercial time. Before we do, though, is there anything new that you guys are working on that we can maybe get a, preview?
Little teaser on.
Because you love us?
Well, I don't know if there's anything new that we haven't covered. Trip, do you want to talk about the item in which Stickman's referring to?
Sure. I mean, we are bringing out a new innovative delivery system, which is not necessarily unique to the industry, but the product, if you will, inside it will be. We'll be releasing a vape pen that is to be announced, the brand. And this will be a product that will offer both high concentrations of THC with low CBD, and then conversely high CBD with no THC, and that subsequently will be distributed domestically along with our Dixie Botanicals line. So for those individuals who are traditionalists but understand that smoking is not necessarily the most healthy way, these vape pens, these e-cigarettes, if you will, are going to be an incredibly powerful delivery system, and we're incredibly excited as to what that means for both Red Dice and Medical Marijuana Inc. So stay tuned, and you'll see that in the month of March.
I can't wait.
You didn't have to, by the way.
I didn't say that on the air, essentially. I might have been friends. You never know. I could have been friends with one of your people way before they even knew what Dixie Elixirs was.
Probably.
And I may have tried some of your products before they were actually Dixie. We'll just put that out there.
Sure. Okay. Very good.
Because that's completely legal,
Yeah.
no matter how you look at it. I'm treading on, with all of these crazy things going around. I'm just making sure everything I say tonight, joking or not, is backed up with an official disclaimer. The other thing, I was wondering, and people have actually been asking all night, is your expansion efforts. Where are you guys going next?
yeah.
What are you up to?
Well, we have been busy. I've visited probably 15 U.S. cities in the last 2.5, 3 weeks. So our travel schedule is not insignificant. That would include Arizona, the state of California, of course, Washington State, Oregon, and as I mentioned, D.C. I'll get back on the road in less than 8 days, which will include visits to Washington, D.C. to talk to a prospective partner. And then for those who live on the East Coast who are listeners, we'll be participating in the MMJ Business Daily. I'll be speaking as a panelist, which is really an investor forum hosted by the people that put on the National Marijuana Business Conference here in November of 2012, and the most successful business conference related to marijuana that I've attended. That's on Thursday, March 14th. And then continuing on Saturday, I'll be taking the train with some fellow entrepreneurs, and I'll be speaking at the National Cannabis Industry Association, NCIA's educational series in Boston, Massachusetts, which is open to the public. You can go on their website and learn more about it, but I would encourage your listeners to visit. And then on Sunday, which is St. Patrick's Day, I will not be doing business. I'll be in Boston.
I can't imagine, especially being in Boston. I have some Irish heritage. There's a few cities in the world that are good cities to be in on St. Patty's Day, and Boston would be right up at the top of that list.
I will be embracing my favorite form of medicine, which is alcohol.
And there you have it. That is an official statement. Well, again, we're almost out of time, but we can always squeeze in a little bit more. You mentioned speaking engagements. Is there anything else you guys are doing locally that we may have missed that folks can get out and see? I know you've done some of the cloverleaf things with our Flint. We're all missing it tonight because she has them on Thursdays, and I keep telling her I can't ever come. It's not that I don't love you, but
it's on Thursday. Yeah. Tripp is going to be a keynote speaker at Castleman's on Saturday, and he'll be presenting on medical marijuana stocks, the future of Red Dice Holdings, and basically hot spots in the cannabis investment landscape, if you will.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This is the first time that I'll have worked with Cloverleaf, and they're an incredibly reputable organization here in the state of Colorado, and I think it will be giving a bird's eye view to prospective investors that are interested in the marijuana and medical cannabis space, both here in Colorado and beyond our borders, and we're privileged to be part of that. So we'll be keeping it real here in the state.
Yeah, and that event starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. Tripp will be speaking at 10:45.
Google Boo thinks you have a sexy voice.
Well, thank you.
I do too, Google. She has an awesome radio voice, much more pleasant than my nasally persona. So before we do run out of time, what do you guys feel? What are your feelings on the recreational taking hold? Let's just use Nederland as an example. How do you feel about the tourism side of that?
Well, I have been watching from the sidelines, and that I'm not part of the governor's task force, but we're incredibly grateful to people like yourself, Stickman, and the dozens of
I don't know why they chose me, by the way.
Hey, listen, I think it was a great choice. Your arguments and your logic was incredibly effective, and we appreciate it. And the amount of hours that you guys committed, by the way, for free, was unparalleled to anything I've seen in any other industry, and so we're eternally grateful. But the legalization of adult use, and subsequently by definition marijuana tourism, in my perspective, is extremely exciting. And as a manufacturer of infused products that today consist of 11 delivery systems representing over 75 unique products, I dare say we're well positioned. That 27,000 square foot state-of-the-art production facility was not designed to serve 100,000 patients. and it's argued that we could see in excess of 1 million consumers at any given time in the state of Colorado. Just do the math, Stickman. We did about $300 million as an industry this year. We're going to be at $1 billion next year, and Dixie and Red Dice are well positioned to leverage that.
Yeah, you and I need to sit down over coffee. I've got ideas. We've been saying that for a while.
Yeah, you keep threatening me.
Schedules have been hectic, so we need to make that happen. I see a huge niche, a few niches that even with the clubs popping up that still aren't covered by any means. And you know, I had a conversation with someone the other day who wants me to give him, again, free advice about opening one of these said clubs. And I think there's room for a few hundred clubs, you know, or I would say 100. I think our tourism, you know, there's this big concern in these work groups about diversion because of all this extra cannabis we're just going to have laying around. I think these people are foolish. To think that people aren't going to come here from all over the world and take advantage of this is just absurd.
Yeah.
We will be, if not, well, we kind of already are, the new Amsterdam.
The tens of millions of dollars that they'll leave behind in the form of transportation and lodging and meals and entertainment, you cannot turn a blind eye to that. Thousands of jobs.
Besides calling out the Colorado, and forgive me if this upsets anyone, the Colorado Bankers Association and Colorado Concern, both signed a letter to the federal government asking them, with the big group of organizations, asking them to come in and intervene. So at the main task force, at their work group, I asked Tamara Ward and Don Childers, one of the scariest things I've ever done. I'm scared of big bankers. Let's face it, there's rumors. I'm scared.
It's the ties.
It's something to do with it. But anyway, I did call them out and ask them to either step down or issue a public statement as to how they thought they could be a productive part of this process, given their obvious conflict of interest. Because Hickenlooper didn't feel like it was an issue, so I felt like I'd do my part there. But, you know, again, we're getting past that. I think overall the work groups are moving in the right direction. We are opening the doors for you guys to enjoy the fruits of these labors, if you will. But really, in the end, it was the voters. Colorado spoke very loudly, landslide, if you will, that we wanted a legalization. And hopefully we can get this implemented in a fairly solid structure that will cause very few problems for you moving forward, sir.
Yeah, it's incredibly important to do it right. And again, as I said, it's because of people like yourself and the dozens of other medical cannabis entrepreneurs that sacrificed, you know, dozens, if not more hours each and every week, by the way, for the last 6-8 weeks. We're grateful. So.
Absolutely, and we hope that we're lucky enough to see both of your smiling faces again soon. Because it's nice when you bring Christy, and I'm not going to lie.
Absolutely. And, you know, Stickman, I just wanted to thank you and Elizabeth and certainly Sam, who's always behind the camera. One day you'll be 21, young man. I just want to thank the hundreds of listeners tonight that you've been gracious enough to share some of their comments. It's important for them to listen and listen very clearly that I promise you, Red Dice Holdings, Medical Marijuana, Inc. are legitimate companies that stand by the reputation that we've been focused on for the last year. I can't control what has taken place in the past, but we're a company that continues to build a brand that you can invest in, and don't let the fearmongers, those detractors, defray the success that we're experiencing. And whether the stock's a cent or $1, we'll still push hard. And we appreciate the support from all of you in this room, but certainly the thousands of listeners.
Well, honestly, my friend, I can't see you guys going anywhere but back up because from everything I've seen, you're an absolute very solid company, and I wish you guys the best. And I look forward to doing whatever we can to work with you and helping out.
Thank you very much.
Before we go real quick, thank you guys for the segment. Before we go, I do want to address Duck, Salvatore, whatever the numbers are, and Poochie Dip, who all sent me private messages. You may have noticed that the chat's been like a stock ticker, so it's kind of a nice little. So anyway, I'm sorry we didn't get to you guys. I'm sorry we couldn't take calls during that segment. I'm just sorry. So on that note, I'll be sorry, and we're gonna go take a little break because, well, I have a bad back and I need to smoke cannabis. So we'll be right back on iCannabis Radio. Peace.
Interested in the amazing benefits of CBD? Check out Dixie X Hemp CBD Wellness Products at www.dixiex.com.
That Mad Hatter Smoke Shop has everything from space glass to butane and butane accessories, I tell you what. Located at 6091 West Colfax in Lakewood, and now at 2615 Walnut Street in Denver. Ah! God damn it, Reclaim, put your pants back on.
Independent Records and Videos has been your locally owned and operated choice for music, movies, and lifestyle accessories since 1978. Independent Records and Videos has 7 locations from Denver to Colorado Springs to Pueblo to serve your entertainment needs. Whether it's vinyl, CDs, DVDs, books, smoking accessories, or hundreds of other fun and fanciful items, Independent is ready and waiting to make your dreams come true. We are always buying, selling, and trading vinyl, CDs, books, and DVDs, so sell yours and buy ours. Independent Records and Videos, your entertainment headquarters. Check us out at beindependent.com or on Facebook.
This is Jessica Asplund with the Crested Butte Wellness Center in the Craig Apothecary. I'd like to invite you into either of our locations to see the difference compassion makes. With everything from sublingual tablets, gluten-free products, and a growing variety of edibles, there is sure to be something right for everyone. We carry only top-shelf, organically grown cannabis at affordable prices for everyone. Stop in and see us at our Crested Butte location at 329 Bellevue Avenue or at our Craig location at 611 Breeze Street.
The law offices of Edson, Mayton, and Matz provide criminal defense, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running medical marijuana centers, optional premises cultivation operations, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout Colorado. With offices in Denver and Aspen, we can offer assistance throughout the entire state of Colorado. Give us a call at 303-831-8188. That's 303-831-8188. Or visit us online at warrenedson.com.
Green Monster Glass, a full selection of glass and glass accessories, as well as all of your smoking needs. Stock your dispensary or smoke shop with reasonably priced glass from Green Monster Glass. Green Monster Glass is locally owned and operated. Find us on Facebook or call Daryl at 719-217-5380. That's 719-217-5380.
The law offices of Edson, Mayton, and Matz provide criminal defense, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running medical marijuana centers, optional premises cultivation operations, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout Colorado. With offices in Denver and Aspen, we can offer assistance throughout the entire state of Colorado. Give us a call at 303-831-8188. That's 303-831-8188. Or visit us online at warrenedson.com.
Dispensary in Colorado Springs is proud to support Overgrow the Radio. With 2 locations in Colorado Springs, Dispensary invites you to discover what true selection and values feel like. Always featuring an incredible array of Stanley Brothers medicine as well as full line of edible and infused products. Dispensary is open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week, 364 days a year. You owe it to your health and well-being to discover Dispensary. Westside location at 3044 West Colorado and Eastside location at 3031 East Platte in Colorado Springs. Dispensary is your destination for indispensable quality medicine.
That Mad Hatter Smoke Shop has everything from space glass to butane and butane accessories, I tell you what. Located at 6091 West Colfax in Lakewood, and now at 2615 Walnut Street in Denver. Ah! God damn it, Reclaim, put your pants back on.
Are you looking for the most elite cannabis genetics the world has to offer? Check out Delta 9 Genetics. Our mission here at Delta 9 is to provide and preserve what we see as the highest quality in cannabis genetics that the world has to offer from what we consider to be the best breeders in the industry. We offer a variety of genetics as well as other services including extractions and edibles. Please let us know what we can do for you. Also, please come check us out April 20th and 21st at the High Times Cannabis Cup here in Denver, Colorado. www.delta9genetics.com.
Dixie Elixirs, the patient's choice for alternative medical marijuana treatment, brings you Dixie Botanicals all-natural topical therapy, including massage oil, pain relief salve, and our newest product, Dixie Botanicals Pain Relief Lotion. This all-natural lotion pairs beautifully with Dixie Botanicals bath salt for a deeply relaxing experience with no psychotropic effect. Like us on Facebook, Dixie Elixirs, or join us at www.dixieelixirs.com. Interested in the amazing benefits of CBD? Check out Dixie X Hemp CBD Wellness Products at www.dixiex.com.
Hello, Hello, everyone. As Stickman said, we just had to take a quick little Zen break, but we're back. Hope you didn't miss us too much.
I'm much calmer. Are you?
I am too, I think.
My back feels better. I couldn't sit here for 2 hours. I think, with the DUID legislation that's up, that's my biggest qualm, is to be able to do everything I do literally during the day, I need cannabis.
Right.
To be able to sit in a chair, to be able to drive my car, to be able to do most everything. And, I miss the high. I wish I got the high. I wish I was impaired, but unfortunately I'm not. So, yeah, welcome back. Sam never gets any love. He's back there working hard. How you doing tonight, Sam? You can just yell.
Great.
Cool. Sam's going to dial up Candace Junkin. Candace is one of my board members for Overgrow the Government, and our whole hour this hour is Overgrow the Government. We were actually going to have one of our attorney friends in, but we got some snow, and he was caught up and couldn't make it, so we switched it up a little bit. We'll see if she answers. We just play games during the ringtone.
Dance a little bit.
Yeah, there's always music in my head.
Hello.
Miss Junkin, it's Stickman. What's happening?
Hi, Stickman. How are you?
I'm doing good. How's Maryland treating you?
Well, it's looking up around here. It's looking up. We have all these decrim and legalization bills going on. So.
Well, I caught something today. I've been really busy. You know me well. And I caught something today. There's more than one bill in Maryland right now?
Well, we've been testifying for a couple of different ones because we figure, any step forward is a step forward. But this most recent one that I just heard about today, it surprised a lot of us, was for total legalization and regulation of cannabis. So
love it.
I do too. And rest assured, I will be there testifying, if only to educate some of the senators and congressmen about, the benefits of getting rid of the black market, getting it out of the hands of our children.
Absolutely. I welcome you guys to the club, and I want to digress for a minute. I mentioned as we were dialing you that this hour is kind of the Overgrow the Government, I almost said radio, Overgrow the Government hour. We've got a big event coming up in D.C., in less than 2 months now. Just under 2 months. Yesterday would have been 2 months. So Overgrow the Government, we'll be at Lafayette Park. We'll be doing a march from the northwest. I'm filling you in, too, because I was on the call yesterday. The northwest quadrant of the Washington Monument. I think we're going to meet there. We think we agreed on about 11 and march down to the White House. And
we'll be marching with the Moms for Marijuana quote, right?
Absolutely. We'll be marching with all kinds of fun signs and banners and causing trouble. And it's really cool. The last time, we haven't done a march every time, but the last time we went down to Lafayette Park, people, we were going down the streets, and we had a big turnout the first time, for the first time. And literally, people were joining in as we went. Like, everyone's in the windows cheering and, like, on buses waving. And there was, like, no negativity. It was beautiful. I loved it.
Don't you just love to see that? I love to see it. Word is spreading. And it's because of things like we're doing and educating the public and telling them that, marijuana is a safer choice. And I really believe people are starting to get the message. But I love to see stuff like that when you're marching down the street and you have the foot traffic and the crowds joining with you. It makes you feel really good. What you're doing is reaching people and making a difference.
We had a group of middle school students try to join into the march. The teachers weren't too happy about that, but that was great. That was great. So still to digress, you are a board member for Overgrow the Government, but also I want to plug Moms for Marijuana because you're kind of a head honcho in that organization too, to your own respect.
Right. I'm the assistant executive director of Moms for Marijuana. And for those people who don't know, Moms for Marijuana is a grassroots organization of people all over the world who are just fed up with this war that's been waged against the cannabis plant, and we kind of focus on education and discussion and making people aware of the benefits of this harmless plant. So,
you mean cannabis is harmless? Candace, I said, you mean cannabis is harmless?
Can you imagine that?
You mean it's a non-toxic, therapeutic plant?
You know, and I live in a small rural area, and I'm watching all the young people, you know, kids that grew up with my kids that are in their early 20s now, and they're all so messed up on the opiates. It has just become an absolute epidemic in this county. And I guess all over the country, really. But it just breaks my heart to see them all binge drinking and destroying their lives over these opiates. And to tell you the truth, if it was a choice between my kids going out on a Friday night and binge drinking or smoking a joint, I'd much rather have them smoke a joint and make it home to me.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, well, the big thing there is they can't die from cannabis. They can smoke 450 joints all at once, and guess what? They're just going to go to sleep.
Right.
And I'm still, you know, I've tried to overdose on cannabis many times.
So have I.
It's funny. I eat some Cheetos and goldfish because, you know, our governor, that's what we do here in Colorado. We all eat Cheetos and goldfish. And then I pass out. And then I wake up feeling really rested and you know, good.
Not hungover or all strung out on opiates or, you know, whatever else.
Yeah, I mean, I used to take more pills and I used to drink alcohol. And I didn't always wake up feeling so good the next day. It's funny how that happens.
And that's what, when I go into the, you know, the Maryland Senate or the House and testify for these bills, that's what I try to, one of the things that I try to tell our legislators is that it's okay with you guys that our kids are going out, and I'm not talking kids, I'm talking kids my age, you know, early 20s, or even high school kids are going out there, they're binge drinking, they're doing whatever. Why not legalize this plant that is so much safer for everyone? And then you're not going to have these kids dying from alcohol poisoning and opiate overdoses.
Well, you know, in one of the meetings I was in and in one of the other work groups recently, a big thing that they've been addressing is labeling and, oh my God, the kids, and what if a kid eats a brownie and blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. Can you tell the frustration in my voice?
Right.
And, you know, I'm recently the Colorado director of the Cash Hide Foundation, as you know. So I get to wear different hats. Whatever the situation is, I can put on a different hat to suit that situation. So that day, that's what I was. And, you know, I stood up and told them that, you know, before Cashy passed, he some days took about 2,000 milligrams of cannabis per day. And, you know, that's equivalent. Well, your average tray of brownies is about 800 milligrams. So we're sitting here worrying about whether a kid eats a couple brownies. You know, I mean, we're dealing with, this is what we're dealing with in the sausage mill process that we're going through right now. It's just, that's the fear.
It's a long process because you're trying to make these people that have been told by their government for 80 years that this plant is a horrible thing, you're trying to tell them the truth based on science and logical thought. And sometimes you just can't get through to them. They still want to listen to all the propaganda and ridiculousness.
I can't imagine. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. Will you stick around with us? Because we're going to talk about these bills a little bit. And, you know, what you guys, if you have anything going on, organize, who's doing it, what's happening. So, yeah, and then we're going to talk to Rebecca next. So we'll be right back on Overgrow the Radio. Peace.
Independent Records and Videos has been your locally owned and operated choice for music, movies, and lifestyle accessories since 1978. Independent Records and Videos has 7 locations from Denver to Colorado Springs to Pueblo to serve your entertainment needs. Whether it's vinyl, CDs, DVDs, books, smoking accessories, or hundreds of other fun and fanciful items, Independent is ready and waiting to make your dreams come true. We are always buying, selling, and trading vinyl, CDs, books, and DVDs, so sell yours and buy ours. Independent Records records and videos, your entertainment headquarters. Check us out at beindependent.com or on Facebook.
The law offices of Edson, Mayton, and Matz provide criminal defense, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running medical marijuana centers, optional premises cultivation operations, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout Colorado. With offices in Denver and Aspen, we can offer assistance throughout the entire state of Colorado. Give us a call at 303-831-8188. That's 303-831-8188. Or visit us online at warrenedson.com.
That Mad Hatter Smoke Shop has everything from space glass to butane and butane accessories, I tell you what. Located at 6091 West Colfax in Lakewood, and now at 2615 Walnut Street in Denver. Ah! God damn it, Reclaim, put your pants back
This
on.
is Jessica Asplund with the Crested Butte Wellness Center in the Craig Apothecary. I'd like to invite you into either of our locations to see the difference compassion makes. With everything from sublingual tablets, gluten-free products, and a growing variety of edibles, there is sure to be something right for everyone. We carry only top-shelf, organically grown cannabis at affordable prices for everyone. Stop in and see us at our Crested Butte location at 329 Bellevue Avenue or at our Craig location at 611 Breeze Street.
Green Monster Glass, a full selection of glass and glass accessories, as well as all of your smoking needs. Stock your dispensary or smoke shop with reasonably priced glass from Green Monster Glass. Green Monster Glass is locally owned and operated. Find us on Facebook or call Daryl at 719-217-5380. That's 719-217-5380.
Dixie Elixirs, the patient's choice for alternative medical marijuana treatment, brings you Dixie Botanicals all-natural topical therapy, including massage oil, pain relief salve, and our newest product, Dixie Botanicals Pain Relief Lotion. This all-natural lotion pairs beautifully with Dixie Botanicals bath salt for a deeply relaxing experience with no psychotropic effect. Like us on Facebook, Dixie Elixirs, or join us at www.dixieelixirs.com.
And I think we're back on Overgrow the Radio. I don't know, I was chatting with my co-host. How are you over there?
I'm doing good.
Are you sure?
Chilling.
First time on radio.
It is.
How's that feel?
It feels a little weird.
Yeah.
I think I'm winging it, though.
I think you're doing amazing. I'll just say that. I'll just throw it out there. I think you're doing awesome.
Fantastic.
So, Candace, are you still with us?
I am.
I was buttering up my guest co-host a little bit. Elizabeth's never done radio before, so I'm trying to make her feel nice and comfy and warm and fuzzy and all that fun stuff.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello.
So, what the bill that came up yesterday, was House Bill 1453. I don't know how much you know about that yet.
Actually, it surprised a bunch of us when we started seeing it come up yesterday. So, I mean, we're happy about it, but those of us that kind of, keep track of the bills and things like that, we didn't even know about it. So it kind of surprised all of us, too.
Who's the organization that sponsored it?
I want to say it's MPP. I really haven't had the chance to do, I read over the bill a little bit.
Sure. That could be.
I want to say...
We had Mason on last week, and he rattled off a bunch of places they're working on, and that absolutely could have been one of them.
Right. I know that we've been working a little bit with Dan Riffey, who is the government relations guy with MPP. And I know that I want to say, I honestly don't know. I have to do my research too. But I know that any legalization bill is a good thing for Maryland. And people keep telling me, don't get your hopes up. Maryland does this every few years, and that's true. They do. Bills have come up before to legalize and regulate. But what people don't seem to understand is support is growing for these bills. So every time we bring another bill, to the floor, we're finding that it has more and more support.
Hey, Candace.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. That's better. I don't know. I think we were losing your connection there for a second.
Oh, okay.
You start. That's much better. You're there. No, you could hear you. You were really starting to sound like the Peanuts teachers. The wah wah wah. So I just thought I'd stop you and we'd restart that and yeah, continue. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I was just saying that, people are telling me not to get my hopes up. Maryland does this every couple of years, and it's true that there have been bills before, to legalize and regulate. But what I think people aren't understanding is that every time we bring a bill to the floor, it has more and more support behind it every time.
Absolutely.
I was just testifying a couple weeks ago for a decrim bill in Maryland, and the vice chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, she said, I don't know why we don't just legalize it and regulate it and get rid of the black market. So if that's coming from our Senate Judiciary Committee chairman, then I just feel like we have hope.
Oh, you do, absolutely. Our next guest, we all love her. She's our sister in Overgrow. Raised a little hell and got frustrated yesterday, and that's Rebecca. I joked today that North Carolina is totally a different place. They're lucky no one had like guns or shotguns. It's very southern. It's very Appalachian. It's very country in places, and people are pissed nationwide. People want legalization. It's common sense. They want regulation. They want to protect the kids from this harmful drug. I mean, the only way to do that is regulate. There was sarcasm in that statement. Let me put that disclaimer.
I try to tell people all the time, marijuana is not the gateway. The black market is the gateway for our kids. So if we get rid of the black market, we take it out of the hands of our children. Drug dealers don't ask for ID.
Well, let me just add that anyone that ever says that to you, the perfect response for the gateway argument is to ask them if they were breastfed. And if the answer is yes, then you inform them that there are CBDs in breast milk. Essentially, they're a little bit different, but they're essentially the same CBDs you find in cannabis. So all of these police officers who were breastfed used cannabis before they even knew how to talk. Take that.
I don't know if I've ever looked at it quite that way.
Yeah, I love that argument. I love to use that. And that's new science. I mean, that's the thing. This is ever evolving and exciting. And the people. One of the big arguments right now in some of the process we're going through here in Colorado is we don't have enough science. And that's such crap. Like, we have decades of science. The DUID, we have decades of science. It's these folks refuse to acknowledge it. And my point that I'm actually really getting to, I believe it or not, is that, just what you said. You guys, it's a process. It's an ugly, grueling, frustrating process, but it is a process, and everyone in this process, from what I've seen, is moving forward. Illinois, my home state, is a great example of a place that has tried constantly, like year after year, to get medical, and it just gets shot down time and time again. But now I keep hearing in the rumor mill that this next session's going to be it. That the interest groups are on our side, so. It's a process. There's an analogy that was given to me by one of the county attorneys I worked with recently. It said it's the sausage mill analogy, and it's that no one wants to see the way that sausage is made, but everyone loves the end product. And I mean, that's politics in a nutshell to me. That was my aha moment with politics. And that's all it is. I mean, it's frustrating, but if you don't, and I'm a Chicago fan, and all of our sports teams suck. So there's always if we don't get them this year, there's always next year.
I was born in Chicago, too.
Nice.
I ended up in Maryland. My father was military, so we moved all over. But, I'm a Chicago girl, too, by birth, anyway.
So you were at Great Mistakes, then.
Right.
I went to basic training at Great Mistakes. Not many people know that I went to basic training.
That's exactly where I was born.
Nice, very good. Yeah, I grew up in a little tiny farm town south of the city, and played farmer. So, well, we got to call Miss Rebecca in about 5 minutes or so, but I did want to talk to you and get your perception on what's going on out here and see what... I want to run through a list of some events that happen, and, feel free, when I'm done, it's only a few here, this week in our work groups, feel free to give your input or ask questions as an outsider, if you will, looking in.
Okay.
What happened in the tax and civil law group this week is they passed an exemption from 280E at the state level. And what that means, on the federal level, they've said you cannot deduct any of your expenses, you're a drug dealer, go away. At least on the state level, we've said, screw you. You don't have to pay that tax on the state, you get to deduct these things under that clause on the state level. So, they'll still have to pay the full amount at the federal level, but, at least they're getting a little bit of a break there. Out-of-staters, Candace, anyone over 21 listening, any out-of-staters, you're going to be limited to 1/8 per purchase in Colorado, it's looking like. Now, that doesn't mean you can't go right down the road and buy another 1/8, and then go right down the road and buy another 1/8. And I'm going to get sidetracked for just a second and say that this has been a huge frustration of mine. The reason they're doing this is they're worried about diversion out of state. We're talking about a state, being Colorado, that just legalized it for everyone over 21 to grow cannabis. Everyone, 6 plants. If we're going to worry about diversion, we can't. There's no way to regulate it. Up to 1 million people can grow cannabis in their house legally. There's no way to prevent it. It's going to happen. We just have to deal with it. Again, it's a plant. Come on, guys. Let's big picture.
Right. And, my dad's brewing beer in his basement. So, how do you compare it?
Oh, I'm losing you again. Here, I'm going to finish these last two, then we'll try you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I love you. Vertical integration. And anyone out of state probably has no idea what that is. Vertical integration is a 70-30 model, which means that current dispensaries for medical here in Colorado have to grow 70% of their cannabis, and they can buy 30% wholesale from other dispensaries, not from private growers, but from licensed dispensaries. The problem with vertical integration and keeping this model is it's not been a huge success in the medical field. Patients can tell you that you go to dispensaries all the time that are out of medicine. And a big reason is they can't keep up with the demand under this model. So the other side of that is we have a patient count that somewhat gives them a fighting chance to do so under the medical model. What we won't have under recreational is any possible way to track who's coming in state or what residents are going to be buying cannabis. So to think that we're going to be able to keep up with the demand is foolish. So we'll see how this pans out. It's going to be the first 2 years. It could cause a complete cluster, and screw everything up. But we'll see. That's just my personal opinion.
It's a process. And as a man girl, I'm going to tell you that I'm really jealous that you guys have already accomplished this in Colorado. So keep fighting, because your experience is enough to know how this needs to happen. And just keep plugging along, and eventually it's going to figure out.
Oh, absolutely. We're almost there.
I really did think about moving out west and coming to Colorado, but then I thought, Maryland needs to be there worse. It needs to do the same thing here.
And that's a huge point. I mean, I could have very easily moved to Colorado and become very complacent. It was actually the polar opposite. I planned to move here, live in the mountains, and go hiking. I moved here. I don't live in the mountains, and I hardly ever go hiking. And that really sucks. But that being said, the reason I can't and I don't slow down is because of my family and my friends and everyone around the world who's being put in a prison or even, discriminated against for this in this bag right here, for cannabis.
Right. I started my activism because my dad got sick.
Sure.
And, 3 years later, I'm out there, and I feel like I'm doing my best to make a difference.
Well, you guys absolutely are, Candace, and we're almost out of time. And the only other thing that really came out, there was a no-brainer passed today that made me laugh. They voted that Colorado residents can only purchase an ounce at a time. Well, no shit, because it says that in 64 you can only possess an ounce at a time. So it's not like we're going to pass an ordinance saying, okay, you can buy 2 ounces at a time. So anyway, the last thing on here is limits on edibles. This is again plays into the fear for children. So it looks like, and I'm not sure that this actually went through because they've had so much kickback, but they're really pushing for about a 200 milligram limit on packages of edibles. So. And it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, because an eighth of edibles, if you go by milligrams, is a lot of edibles. So Candace, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us.
Thanks for having me, and tell Rebecca I said hello and I love her.
Absolutely, as always, and reciprocal from us here at Overgrow the Radio to you, ma'am.
All right, we'll talk soon.
We will. Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
So we're going to take a little commercial break because we didn't pay all our sponsors the first hour, and we'll be right back on iCannabisRadio.com's Overgrow the Radio. Peace.
Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver area, please join us for runs or start a group in your area. Running not your thing? Any sport can do it on grass. Runongrass.com.
Dixie Elixirs, the patient's choice for alternative medical marijuana treatment, brings you Dixie Botanicals all-natural topical therapy, including massage oil, pain relief salve, and our newest product, Dixie Botanicals Pain Relief Lotion. This all-natural lotion pairs beautifully with Dixie Botanicals bath salt for a deeply relaxing experience with no psychotropic effect. Like us on Facebook, Dixie Elixirs, or join us at www.dixieelixirs.com.
This is Jessica Asplund with the Crested Butte Wellness Center in the Craig Apothecary. I'd like to invite you into either of our locations to see the difference compassion makes. With everything from sublingual tablets, gluten-free products, and a growing variety of edibles, there is sure to be something right for everyone. We carry only top-shelf, organically grown cannabis at affordable prices for everyone. Stop in and see us at our Crested Butte location at 329 Bellevue Avenue or at our Craig location at 611 Breeze Street.
That Mad Hatter Smoke Shop has everything from space glass to butane and butane accessories, I tell you what. Located at 6091 West Colfax in Lakewood and now at 2615 Walnut Street in Denver. Ah! God damn it, Reclaim, put your pants back on.
Are you looking for the most elite cannabis genetics the world has to offer? Check out Delta 9 Genetics. Our mission here at Delta 9 is to provide and preserve what we see as the highest quality in cannabis genetics that the world has to offer from what we consider to be the best breeders in the industry. We offer a variety of genetics as well as other services including extractions and edibles. Please let us know what we can do for you. Also, please come check us out April 20th and 21st at the High Times Cannabis Cup here in Denver, Colorado. www.delta9genetics.com.
Independent Records and Videos has been your locally owned and operated choice for music, movies, and lifestyle accessories since 1978. Independent Records and Videos has 7 locations from Denver to Colorado Springs to Pueblo to serve your entertainment needs. Whether it's vinyl, CDs, DVDs, books, smoking accessories, or hundreds of other fun and fanciful items, Independent is ready and waiting to make your dreams come true. We are always buying, selling, and trading vinyl, CDs, books, and DVDs, so sell yours and buy ours. Independent Records and Videos, your entertainment headquarters. Check us out at beindependent.com or on Facebook.
And we're back on Overgrow the Radio. Next, we're calling Rebecca Forbes. Isn't that correct?
I don't know, is it? You tell me.
I believe so. Let's
Yes.
see if she answers, and then we'll find out.
I guess that's the case, yeah. Hopefully she's still awake. It is kind of late out there. There's nights I go to bed at 10:30.
That's me every night.
Yeah, we discussed that before. You're kind of old for your age.
Yeah, I'm Grandma Liz.
You are. I dig it. It's kind of cool. Maybe, Rebecca? Is there anybody out there? Maybe. Maybe not. If not, we've got some stuff we can ramble about and try her back. Believe me. Wake up.
You have reached the
We'll try her back.
voicemail
We'll have
box.
Sam dial her back real quick. So, Elizabeth, I'm going to put you on the spot for a second.
Oh, no.
So.
Let's try it.
I like that look. So, you know, you help a lot of folks who grow cannabis, which is perfectly legal here in Colorado. And you're fairly young. Let me just premise it with that. How and when did you find yourself in the cannabis realm? Not when, because you could incriminate yourself, but
Right.
what brought you into the cannabis realm?
basically just kind of looking for something that would alleviate the need for any kind of synthetic anything. It's just not something I'm a fan of. And I definitely needed it. And obviously right away was like, well, why wouldn't you grow this if this is also your right on top of that? So I kind of started out learning, then started almost being a plant babysitter / grow room consultant, what have you.
Absolutely. I mean, and we talked about that. When you go out of town, what a lot of people don't realize, if you grow cannabis and you go out of town, you totally need a babysitter. I mean, it's like having
horrifying.
children.
It's so stressful.
Yeah, we're going to talk over rings while we continue to try her. I was going to send her a text, but I'm not that motivated because we can keep talking.
Gotcha.
We'll give her one more shot. Yeah, I mean,
this is your final chance.
I guess my offer goes out to you on the air that, you know, if I ever find myself inspired to grow, you'd be high on my list as someone to keep an eye on things.
Definitely. Definitely.
So maybe we're not getting Miss Rebecca, so we're just going to ramble for the rest of the segment and finish out our news that we never got to because God knows we've got plenty to do there. Somebody needs to get some sleep. If you need to get some sleep, you're good. You can always catch this on the replay on our recorded shows on iCannabisRadio.com. We'll miss you, but we understand. So, you know, there was so much else in the news. You know, when Tripp was in, they talked about Britain in particular, you know, doing media and things. And with Britain, anytime there's a study that's negative, and they get used a lot by our groups that are prohibitionist groups here in the States, they're usually out of two places: the UK, mainly Britain, or Australia / New Zealand. I'll even throw that in there. So one of the things that popped up on my radar today in the news is that 53% of Britons now support decriminalization. You know,
that's big.
Well, it is, because if you look at the bigger picture, you know, like their reefer madness in their media, in their studies is huge.
Oh yeah.
And that totally affects the psyche of a population.
Well, it does, yeah.
So that's saying something.
Media control.
Exactly. I mean, what do you think causes that? Do you think it's because they've watched what we do here and they see the sky's not falling?
Well, that, and then it's almost like they're forced to have this moral dilemma where if they come to our side, then they're going to get stones thrown at them by their neighbors or something. Like, that stigma is still attached.
Well, yeah, and our buddy, I haven't seen him on yet, but here he is, dabbing in Illinois, just says the skunk will get you. And that, I laugh every time I see that, because one of the things they love to say over there is that they have this new super skunk, and that the cannabis is so much more powerful than regular cannabis. And that's such, I'll just call it for what it is, it's frickin' bullshit. That it's come up a couple times in our work groups, and I've just wanted to like bury my head and scream. Cannabis has not gotten stronger. It's, you know, we fine-tuned it to get it up a few points.
Right.
But overall, have these folks ever heard of Thai stick or Colombian gold? You know, the difference is in the 60s you had to hop a plane to Thailand or hop a plane to Colombia or somewhere in South America and get good cannabis. What you got up here was grown in Mexico, just like it still is, and shipped over in bricks in the back of like cow trucks underneath 9 pounds of cow shit, and you get what you get, you know?
My brother would joke about that is what, you know, they would get, is this brick of weed.
Yeah. Yes, I do have anger and bashing, but I mean, ignorance is one of the chatters. I don't know if they're referring to me, but maybe not. But anyway, there's the ignorance is worth it. So this was kind of cool. We joked about this before. Yeah. In California, I'm a little jealous. You can get tamales now that are medicated.
I'm down for any medicated food.
I'm just down for medicating in general. Pretty sure that's why you and I are friends, why we get along. And there is a big news story that we do want to hit on before we completely run out of time. New York City has been known forever as the arrest capital of basically our country for cannabis. What a lot of people don't know is New York, the state, decriminalized cannabis, oh my God, decades ago.
Yeah, I didn't
80s?
know that.
I don't even know if it's in this article, but it was years ago, 90s?
I think it was 77.
Yeah, like early 80s, late 70s, yeah, ridiculous amount of time ago. New York City never acknowledged that. And in that, they like to arrest and or beat up people of color. When you look at arrest records overall across the nation, one of our best and biggest arguments, and rightly so, has been the disproportionate arrests overall. When you look at New York City, it multiplies by like 10. If you're a white person, you could carry 10 pounds in your knapsack down the road and be good to go. If you're anything else, any other race, not so much. They're assholes. So I say that with complete confidence that I'll walk through New York City one day and they'll still be assholes whether I say they are or not. So
yeah.
It is what it is. I asked a cop for directions there one time when I was backpacking and came into the city.
They never want to give directions.
No, he was
that
a complete
is beneath them.
Yeah, he didn't even acknowledge me. Like he just looked at me like I was, I don't know, from another planet. Like, why are you talking to me? Go away. Which, I'm from Chicago originally, or that area. I know how that is, but it's worse there. So, the medical marijuana news, which we didn't get to, and I just use the word marijuana, so I need to be slapped around a little bit. That's okay. Medical cannabis news. Arkansas, poor Arkansas, they're trying. I actually have some friends that are really working over there with Oklahoma and Arkansas. Arkansas, they got kicked out again for a medical ballot measure. That's the second this week. I think there were, as I said before, 3 last week that failed. In California, this kind of sucks. A federal magistrate ruled against the city's challenge to the federal government's effort to shut down Harborside. That really sucks because Oakland stood up for the dispensary and said, bullshit, go away. And, it got all the way to the federal magistrate, and that's, it's just discouraging when that happens.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a roadblock. Makes me sad.
It does.
Makes my butterflies in my heart kind of die a little bit.
Oh, no.
The world isn't all rainbows and sunshine. And then there's a story like this, which really just burns my ass, to use a term that my dad would use. When patients get picked on, that just pisses me off because we're just patients. We're dealing with something already, whether it be cancer or severe pain, whatever the case may be. We don't need to be thrown in a cage. We don't need to go through legal processes. We just need to get better. Uh-oh, someone's calling us. Yeah, why not? Hello?
Yeah, this is a iCannabis radio show.
It is. Can I help you?
Yeah, I thought there was a live broadcast tonight.
We are broadcasting right now. You're live on the air.
Oh, well, how can I listen to it?
iCannabisradio.com, sir. We're almost, we've got about 5 minutes. We're wrapping up here with some news, and then you'll be able to catch the replays in about an hour on iCannabisradio.com. Hit the recorded shows link and go to Overgrow the Radio.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
No worries, my friend. Enjoy. Thanks for listening. All right.
Bye-bye.
Absolutely. So as I mentioned earlier, out in D.C., I skipped ahead. I'm sorry. Daisy Bram out in California, it looks like she's really been harassed by police. She's had her kids taken twice. That's something that we haven't addressed here in Colorado quite yet. That was brought up, and I don't think we ever really included it. As parents, we're always under the gun on that. Child Protective Services does not look at cannabis as acceptable yet.
No, it doesn't. And I know that there were people I knew who were worried about having grows in their households, even if they were in a locked room in a basement, because there were children in the house. That's all of a sudden you can go to jail for this. And that's really not, I don't see how that links together at all.
Well, no, I mean, it's not abuse. We let people drink around their kids. We let people smoke cigarettes in the same room, same car as their kids.
Or what if it's even a parent trying to grow for their child, let's say, and provide that medicine for them?
Yeah, Elizabeth actually helped me the other night at a Cashy Hyde event. I don't know how much you knew about that foundation or his story. I'm totally going to put you on a clip that's going to make you cry when you go home to watch, so to teach you more. But yeah, and the number's growing. I mean, kids use cannabis daily, thousands at this point. I would be very comfortable saying. I would say hundreds here in Colorado. It's much safer than the crap that we put into them, Ritalin and children's Tylenol, for that matter.
I know, none of that makes any sense to me.
Me neither. I'm lucky enough that my ex-wife and I agree on cannabis and are educated on cannabis. And my daughter, I like to joke, is, well, I won't say her exact age, but she's a tween, if you will. And she knows more about cannabis and hemp than most adults do. And that's a scary thing. And I think on that note, we really are going to get out of here. We're peeling out like 5 minutes early, and I know you guys won't hate us because we had a pretty busy, pretty awesome show tonight with Mr. Kieber. And we must have missed Rebecca. She may have fallen asleep because I just joked about it, and then it happened. We'll get her on because she... are we going to take one more? Yeah, take that call. Hello?
Hey, yeah, can I speak to Stickman?
This is Stickman.
This is Stickman here?
Yes, you're on the air, so be careful what you say, but this is Stickman.
Oh, excellent. Hey, I just wanted to call and say on behalf of the MJNA investors, we're very thankful for your insight in asking him the current situation in regards to the investors. And it was great insight, and you're doing a good thing, and great show. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir, so much. And, just to give you guys a peace of mind, Tripp, I've known him for quite a while at this point, and I have the utmost faith that they're going to do things right and straighten out whatever, whatever damage these few trolls have done, if you will.
Gotcha. No, I appreciate it. I actually called and I spoke to you about an hour before the show started.
You're right on.
In regards to that situation.
Sure. Well, thank you for your support, and I hope you keep listening.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Great show, and thanks to many people from the online boards and investors.
Absolutely, sir. Enjoy your evening. Well, that's a great way, a positive way to end, huh?
It is, yes.
Elizabeth, it's been a pleasure, and you, my dear, are welcome back anytime you want to come make radio.
Thank you for having me.
Next time, I promise you'll get to talk more, and I won't just put you on the spot and throw you to the wolves.
Hey, it was fun.
Yeah. Well,
like I said, it was only 2 hours.
You only have to put up with me for 2 hours. So before we go, Sam's all antsy. He thinks we're quitting. Slow down. We do have to talk about a couple things. There's an event that Sam will be at this weekend down in the Springs. We're doing a live broadcast. Check out StudioA64.com. It's the Springs' first official, legal, licensed private club. Woo-hoo. I believe they're opening at 4:20 on Saturday, and you'll have to find out the location and be cool and show up and get high because it's legal. And then sponsors. We love them. Dixie Elixirs, of course. They've got Elixirs, Botanicals, X. They've got it all. Hemp, CBD, wellness products, cannabis products. I don't know. Whatever you want. In Dispensary. If you're in the Springs, you got to check them out. East Platte. I drew a blank. And West Colorado. The family that owns that place is amazing. They are a family of mine. The owner actually showed up at my meeting the other day, and it was really encouraging to look up and see a familiar face in the audience. So thank you. I encourage everybody to check out that and their other business, Independent Records. And Independent Records has been around forever, since the 70s. They've got locations all over the state, so you're likely to be able to find one. And again, you want to support the people who rock, and those are definitely those people. Delta 9 Genetics, we want to welcome those guys. They're new to the family. Check them out. Green Monster Glass, thank you guys. Keep stocking shelves with glass that I can drop and it doesn't break. I appreciate that. Craig, wait for it, Sam.
Apothecary.
He didn't wait for it.
Oh, sorry.
I've been practicing, but that's okay. You got it. That and Crested Butte Wellness both are kind of one and the same. We love you guys. Thank you for supporting. We're going to take one more call, unless Sam just hung up on him. Caller, if you want to call back, we'll humor you. We'll take one more call because someone's tried to call like 3 times. But you have to do it while Sam's playing a song. And if that song ends, then we've got to go because I got to get home and do some dabs. No driving before dabs. All right, maybe Sam's playing a song. Other than that, if we don't come back, my words of wisdom for the week are just love the neighbor and keep going, guys. I know it sucks to get shot down and to lose a referendum or ballot initiative, but it's one step closer, and we'll all get there together. Thanks for listening. Make sure to check out all the other great shows on iCannabisRadio.com Monday through Thursday. And hopefully we've got 2 more shows that we'll be launching very soon I'll be able to talk about. Until next time, we love you. Thank you.
Are you looking for the most elite cannabis genetics the world has to offer? Check out Delta 9 Genetics. Our mission here at Delta 9 is to provide and preserve what we see as the highest quality in cannabis genetics that the world has to offer from what we consider to be the best breeders in the industry. We offer a variety of genetics as well as other services including extractions and edibles. Please let us know what we can do for you. Also, please come check us out April 20th and 21st at the High Times Cannabis Cup here in Denver, Colorado. www.delta9genetics.com.
Dixie Elixirs, the patient's choice for alternative medical marijuana treatment, brings you Dixie Botanicals all-natural topical therapy, including massage oil, pain relief salve, and our newest product, Dixie Botanicals Pain Relief Lotion. This all-natural lotion pairs beautifully with Dixie Botanicals bath salt for a deeply relaxing experience with no psychotropic effect. Like us on Facebook, Dixie Elixirs, or join us at www.dixieelixirs.com. Interested in the amazing benefits of CBD? Check out Dixie X Hemp CBD Wellness Products at www.dixiex.com.
That Mad Hatter Smoke Shop has everything from space glass to butane and butane accessories, I tell you what. Located at 6091 West Colfax in Lakewood and now at 2615 Walnut Street in Denver. Ah! God damn it, Reclaim, put your pants back.
The law offices of Edson, Mayton, and Matz provide criminal defense, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running medical marijuana centers, optional premises cultivation operations, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout Colorado. With offices in Denver and Aspen, we can offer assistance throughout the entire state of Colorado. Give us a call at 303-831-8188. That's 303-831-8188. Or visit us online at warrenedson.com.
This is Jessica Asplund with the Crested Butte Wellness Center in the Craig Apothecary. I'd like to invite you into either of our locations to see the difference compassion makes. With everything from sublingual tablets, gluten-free products, and a growing variety of edibles, there is sure to be something right for everyone. We carry only top-shelf, organically grown cannabis at affordable prices for everyone. Stop in and see us at our Crested Butte location at 329 Bellevue Avenue or at our Craig location at 611 Breeze Street.
Independent Records and Videos has been your locally owned and operated choice for music, movies, and lifestyle accessories since 1978. Independent Records and Videos has 7 locations from Denver to Colorado Springs to Pueblo to serve your entertainment needs. Whether it's vinyl, CDs, DVDs, books, smoking accessories, or hundreds of other fun and fanciful items, Independent is ready and waiting to make your dreams come true. We are always buying, selling, and trading vinyl, CDs, books, and DVDs, so sell yours and buy ours. Independent Records and Videos, your entertainment headquarters. Check us out at beindependent.com or on Facebook.